Yeah, this announces and there's going to be part 3 of the Red Rust journey for, Symphony of Night, or specifically Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of Night, as that. So, yeah, we're currently at the Hippogriff and stuff that, and the Hippogriff is, fairly simple so far. Now it's doing it. Okay, it did repeat twice there at least, though. Please. Yeah, keep repeating this as much as possible, please. I know what is it, 800 health that it has, I think. The crits are very important out there because the crits are for 32 there. It's very rare that you get to hear that long of the music there. Level up!
You look like you're doing well for yourself.
And? You didn't come here to flatter me.
True. Do you know the name Richter Belmont?
Belmont? Of course. Why?
He disappeared about a year ago. I'm sure he's here now. If you see him, please let me know.
As you wish, my lady.
A gentleman after all. Thank you.
I know that the dialogue was slightly different in the early version of Requiem and stuff that, right? But yes, and the Requiem is based on the PSP version. The PSP version in turn is kind of based on the Saturn version. But of course, in the PSP version, you could for a very, very long time used to do the... You could do a certain thing, but yeah. So we level 16 currently. Yeah, the Red Rust is pretty bad, yeah, and it's crazy that the Takemitsu is actually strong and stuff that, because, And yeah, sure, this is a rusty sword and everything, right, but, And always because of, like, Final Fantasy 6 and, and in other games, right? But, like, in Final Fantasy 6, it's the fact that in Final Fantasy 6 there existed, like, a specific, like, curse shield, right, and then the curse shield became one of the best shields in the game. If you used it enough, I think you had to get a certain amount of luck. There was that you actually had to do the battles. You couldn't just get into battles and use the escape and stuff like that, right? This is normally where you get the Cutlass. And of course, if you get the Cutlass here, by the way, the best thing you would normally have is use the Gladius at 22, and then, yeah, you would get the Cutlass, and the Cutlass would be a big deal. Stuff like that, yeah. And now, finally, Castle King. To get Cat's Keep, and the Cat's Keep is very nice. Okay, it's good to know that we're one-shotting the Flea Riders even without a crit. Actually, you know what? Bouncy Rock. There are actually some advantages to the Bouncy Rock or whatever, like, or Ricochet Stone. Because you see, we dealt just 22 damage to the 24 there. That hit. How much is it cost? Yeah, it only costs 2. And stuff like that. And there are uncertain things where you can hit multiple times. I thought about like other challenge runs we could do and stuff there, but it depends on, of course, like if a weapon is used too late, it's just going to be very annoying. The turfing would be interesting, but the main problem is, of course, that the turfing, as you can see, the turfing is very similar to the red rust because it is red in the blade, but it's, of course, the rusted part is not the hand on it and stuff that, so it's, yeah. And the turfing, though, you would think that it should actually be powerful, because the turfing is a bit similar actually to the Muramasa or whatever, right? Because it's actually the mythology on the old fucking turfing is, I think it's from Viking mythology actually, the turfing and stuff that it was that someone killed someone with the turfing or whatever, and that's how it became cursed or whatever, right? Something like that, This is of course where you get your first turquoise, or where you're meant to get your first turquoise here. Of course you get a turkey for your boss couple counter because you killed all the flea, or you killed a lot of the flea riders. There are more flea riders left. Awesome. And you can just get over there quickly with the whole double jump thing. Now normally what I feel you're meant to do here is you're meant to of course to go back, or specifically I believe to outer wall. Not technically outer wall. Because you're meant to go to Colosseum next actually. So that more than anything. However, we're gonna go back this way. Oh, I did that input somehow. So why are we going back this way now that we have double jump? Yeah, there are also some things we can pick up here. And it's in a slot where we don't really have anything yet. It would be nice if it could stop failing. With the double jump, I feel like you were always meant to go now immediately to the Colosseum and stuff that, right? And some people might say that, oh, that with the double jump you were meant to go and fight like Karusaman and stuff that, and go through like the outer wall and go through that way, because now even if the bridge falls down, you can still get over to the other side, which is true, of course. And stuff that, but I always felt that, you know, that oh, you were used to cast the keep and stuff that, and even if you go there and you're able to go there, of course, yes, you're able to get the Falchion that way, and that makes sense, right? Because then the broadsword is not more powerful, but because the broadsword is more powerful as the Falchion, and I've said like that makes no sense. That why would the Falchion only be this attack power? But I think it's supposed to be because the game is so open and stuff like that. But I always felt like that with the double jump, you're supposed to go to the Colosseum, because that's where the actual progression is and stuff like that. No. And of course the fact is that there is a library card there as well. And then with the library card, of course, you go back to then to the library, and then now, since you have the double jump in the library and you just got Power of Mist, you're able to get the Solar Bat. And then with Solar Bat, you're of course able to get the Fire Bat inside of the, like the way to the Karusaman there, you're able to get that, you know. And of course that's where that is. We get 250 there. And this of course where you can do the skip here, for example. Skip you can do there. And I also think the reason why you're meant to go inside the Colosseum, I also feel, is because of this here. The fact that you went inside the Colosseum here and stuff that, and it clearly said that, oh, this is the Colosseum and stuff that, right? That you get this whole thing, right? And you're like, okay, like what is this area? And then you're looking at where this would connect and stuff that, like you check the map there, you know, and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, that's interesting, you know. But the clock room is the one there that has like the triple doors. After the save there, it's the one with, it has only like one room upwards. It doesn't even show that it can go down. But that's of course because you're not supposed to know that the floor opens up there in the clock room. This is also where the bouncy rock can be pretty good. Because if you hit it at certain heights, you can actually hit a lot of them at the same time. Varför har det gått upp? No, they will kill all the parts. That was not good. That was just me wasting a bunch of HP there. And there we of course we get the Morning Star. Which is actually quite a lot. Or quite a big damage upgrade. They are 31 damage. Then it drops the Cutlass of course, which is actually a bit fun as well. Then yeah, you can abuse this, and I believe you do get XP here for the kills. Even if it kills it 871, yeah, it's 69 there. But yeah, because normally you do the trick there with using either the Jewel Knuckles or use your regular fists or whatever, right? And you can just kill the Spike Ball. And the Spike Ball is of course a hidden enemy. I know that we can get that actually. No, that's not how. I know I can do these jumps. I've done these jumps before, man. Oh, that's too. Come on, man. Come on, you boys, the bunnies. Now, do I need to. Maybe I need to buff or something. Wait a minute, maybe it's that they're closer. Yeah, they're definitely closer. It's just the last one there that requires you to get the thing. Or is this one also further away? Yeah, this one is also further away, I feel like. Yeah, because it's the two important items that are further away, because this is the honk, right? Yeah, this is the honk. And then of course there's another easy one. I said that's pretty funny, man. Yeah, the things that are just basic items like the boomerang and stuff that the things that don't matter, those are the things that you can get. But you stop your momentum by doing that. Wait, can't you do the thing then? Yeah, because I feel like the stair has to end for it to work, basically. Now maybe there is a way to actually go from this side. Nah, that does not work either. I'm checking what's going on. What is this? Look at more hidden footprints. Okay, so there wasn't that much good stuff we could get there. Throw one. Throw two. So we can have a bunch of those. we can get the holy water back. Oh. The fact that we don't even like one-shot bombs in the doors yet is a bit bad. And the crit damage on this is not bad, of course. Now, imagine though if they had some sort of level up mechanic to this weapon and stuff that, you know. Did we get the potion, by the way? I think we did. Yeah, we did. And that's why, of course, the explanation is that the sword is rusty, so it's supposed to be that he always swings it from the actual, you know, from the sheet or whatever you call it, you know, instead of that, you know. Statue still here. So the fact is that it's accurate to the time in game and stuff like that, right? And I believe the moonstone specifically works during like night time, so it's like 1 to 6, I think it is, or 1 to 7 or something like that. And then after that, basically, yes, even though it's 1 to 6, I'm pretty certain, because then the other. Basically, after that, it changes and stuff like that, you know. We probably won't be able to kill these because they, of course, if you try to kill them with the red rust, actually. Unless we kill them in one hit. Okay, we do kill them in one hit. Okay, but that's good to know. And here, of course, you meet the stronger version of the sword, which is not a puppet sword. Now it's called the actual, you know, spectral sword, I believe it's called now. I'm not getting this because of the broadsword, of course. We're getting this for another reason. Also get a bit of cheese. That's sword. And it's interesting, of course, that in the second cast there are actually enemies in here and stuff like that, you know. Because, like, why make the room so large? So there were probably different plans to have something in there. Yeah. You can get an easy clock there, you know, and that is just so you're supposed to find the. You're supposed to get the holocaust set at this point. You see here. Right. Yeah, I've done all the uploads already. Yeah. But it's fun to actually do the challenge in a slow way rather than just trying to like do it super quick or whatever, right? You know. And here, of course, it's interesting because here you have the So they do 9 damage each. Blade Soldier 838 by the way. Right, so they only give us 1. It's not great. We got the 4 in the bag. Ooh, we got actually pretty lucky. There's a lot of the different sub-weapons we can get here. Yeah, that's also one of the black money grind rooms, but it's actually better used to do the other money grind room basically. It's just better to do the other one. The one with the 1,000 coin bag, yeah. But that room here, they're of course to be powerful enough to do if you want to do the 1,000 bag coin room, because that's the same room that has the shield rod. We took the short sword. And of course, sadly, like stuff can disappear, of course, obviously. I wanted to really have gotten the short sword there, even though we already have one. And we get the blood cloak. And the blood cloak, as you can see, is slightly better, but it's 1 more constitution. It's 1 more constitution, it's 1 more defense, but it's -1 luck on it. So yeah, so it's better than the reverse cloak, which is why I got this. Why I allowed myself to get the reverse cloak basically, so that then, because I feel like you're meant to get the reverse cloak as your second cloak in the game, and then you're meant to get blood cloak, and then you're like, okay, at this point, you know, because you do get a library card, you would then be like, okay, like the Elven cloak is the same as the blood cloak, but yeah, so you don't normally get to use the blood cloak for very long. I really want that coin bag, but nah, I'm not gonna go for it. Yeah, it's so easy to get hit there because it does its jumping attack. You hardly ever get to see that, It's actually pretty funny. That's a bit scary though, it's gonna lie. But yeah, but that's because the whole wind up there with the sword. What is it, by the way? Is it hunting girls? Yes. Yeah, going through that part is annoying though, but yeah, but we did it of course for the blood cloak. The question is, can we use the same tank strategy for like mist could pass? I like the sound effect also, like psh. Blade Master. And it's crazy, really, like the drop that you can get from the Blade Master. One of the drops is actually a second castle item, which is the actual shuttle that it can drop, which is absolutely pretty insane if you would get lucky here. Imagine right, someone playing it for the first time and then they get the shuttle to drop here, Imagine how insane that is, actually. Actually, these guys feel easier because they're not pretty smart. The whole novice, at least, he tries to charge at you, and stuff like that, right, And then let's get what is my favorite sub-weapon of all time, or like at least when I was young and stuff like that. But yeah, but it's just that I think that this one, like, yeah, the damage is not that great, and the main problem is the fact that I think that this sub-weapon specifically loses its holy element, and it actually does have lighting as its main thing instead. Maybe it still has holy damage. Right, and then we have one of those sword lords, or armor lord, or whatever it's called. And of course, you have that room there with that. We can, of course, here encounter another Owl Knight. Yes. Within 60 damage now to Mr. Owl Knight. And I think he has like 110 health. I think it is that he has. Still a bit nice to see his actual drop there, but yeah. So the question is, do we use a strength potion when we do this fight? Right. Or do we do the other strat that allows me to use the sub-weapon? Because I would like to kill this without using the sub-weapon. But killing Minotaur and Werewolf used, we could just get lucky, of course, and just get enough crits. But the question is, do we use up a strength potion already? So that there might be like way better bosses to use the strength potion on. But with delaying damage. I'm gonna have it like that though. So we can hear the voice here. So you don't also get the advantage here.
Who are you?
Servants, come forth from the gates of hell!
Your blood. The scent of your blood. You're a Belmont!
Attack! Rid my castle of this pest!
Right, and with using one of those, now we have 40 attack with that, and we have 38 with this. 51 with the Morning Star. Short Sword is 42. Guidance is 43. 10 with Turfing, actually, with the Strength Potion. Takemitsu is 41. Which is rather crazy. Because, yeah, 41 is, yeah, the same as the Bastard still, and is slightly worse than the Short Sword. But still, I mean, like, that's just a big deal, stuff like that. And then the fucking Morning Star just fucking slaps with its damage. And the boss sword is, of course, 52, so the Broadsword is just slightly stronger than the Morning Star, so, that's a big deal. And then, it would be nice if I could get a hit in, that would be nice. I think you're actually supposed to do standing hits in this fight, but it's just like incredible fucking risk, man. He kind of got stuck there for a while at least. Do we heal yet? No, I don't think we do. You know what? Use the shield potion here. Red Rust, yes. Okay. Okay. Does that get out? No. I was still a bit scared though. Did we gain a level? I think we did.
A Belmont for certain. So he says he's the lord of this castle.
Life max up. And then this is normally what you're meant to do here. You're not meant to jump down to the elevator. Hello? You're actually meant to wait here. Yeah, there we go. That felt like it took way longer than it should have there for almost. And now you're like, huh? And then you're like, huh? Yo! But then, of course, at that point, you're not meant to have seen any of those gates yet, and you're like, okay, but I just got a library card, like, what does it do, you know, and stuff that you're, you know, like, oh wow, I can go back to the library, you know. You know. And we have 2 red rusts, of course, and now...
Young Master Alucard.
How about this?
It's a 1 Sarkon, 1 Akenwain, 1 Turquoise, and 1 Horse.
How about this?
Now with that, of course, that makes it now so that what do you call it, the leather hat is still pretty decent there with 1+ defense, but it's less intelligence, of course. Circlet, and of course, Silver Crown is pretty decent intelligence-wise, for the Silver Crown at least. And Crazy is of course worse. Steel Crazy is also worse than the Silver. Stuff that's supported also kind of a waste of cash, but then of course the Diamond Plate is a big upgrade. Yeah, and there we have the Elven Cloak, which now allow us to get...
Thank you.
I'm not gonna allow that yet, until we get a certain other thing. I'm gonna allow cast map now though. So now we have the Elven Cloak, and the Elven Cloak, I mean, it is the same defense, but it's still an upgrade, because yes, you get the luck back that you lost, but you also gain... It's not that the cloak itself gives like 1+ luck, as you see, it doesn't give you that. It's just that this cloak, for example, like gives... Yeah, so if you see it here, for example, this gives 1+ Constitution from the cloth cape, gives 1+ Constitution. Reverse Cloak gives you 3+ Constitution because it's 19, 20, 21. And the Reverse Cloak, so it goes from +1 Constitution to +3 Constitution, from 21 to 22, so then it goes, so that's 4, right? +4, yeah. 18, 19, 20, 21, and then 22, so +4 Constitution, and then with this, it is +5 Constitution from the Elven Cloak. Perfect for forest camouflage. And also the Elven Cloak looked very nice and stuff that, you know. And with the Silver Elven Cloak in hand. Silver Elven Cloak in hand. Alucard feels pretty great. We're still doing very low damage though, which is, you know, not particularly great. But now, yeah, now it's time for Lesser Demon, which, you know... which might be good or might be absolutely horrible. Can we do... Oh, what? Wait. The armor bleed? Or was that actually the... It's actually the Freeman that bleeds. It does bleed when you remove its armor. That's interesting. It does bloodstain when you hit its armor off for some reason. That was first made, that was Freeman. Actually, that's pretty good. So that's an actual strat to actually gain health back while fighting these. If you do the Dark Metamorphosis. That was easy. Dark Metamorphosis. Yeah, so you can get the 8 healing twice there. So you know that's a pretty decent way to keep yourself in shape there. And here we go, Stone Mask. And Stone Mask is +1 defense, and then it's the same amount of luck, which is nice. And then here we get the absolutely massive, like the Holy Rod, which is 33 damage, which is used slightly better than the Morning Star, and slightly better than the Broadsword as well there, with the Ward 33 that matches exactly the Broadsword, but yeah. Now also we got the Topaz Circlet, which is actually quite a lot of intelligence on it, like that's like what, like 18 to 28, so that's 10 plus intelligence on it. Sadly, the defense on all of the circlets are like really, really bad. Their defense is not great. But as a Ghost restores HP by poison damage. So sadly there aren't that many things that deal poison damage. Actually, let's do this again. Dark Metamorphosis. We can get a little bit of health back with that, but then there's no easy way for us to get to the thing. We do have healing items left, right? Yeah, because we didn't use up a potion. We have a cheese left. We have the grape juice left. We have a turkey left. For boss time. Let's do. Okay, that's fine. Please give me the. Now it's too bad though that imagine if the boss version of this mob could have the drop, same thing with Karasman, right? When you fight him, imagine if you could get lucky, for example, and you could actually get the drop from the actual boss, that version of the enemy, right? And you could get like the Ring of Fëanor from there. Because then this guy would be able to drop the whole Bane Dagger and the Obsidian Sword. I forgot that that's hard actually, the Madman's dude. Yes, I don't really want to heal. Yeah, their sound is very, very annoying, which is now why, because you don't have to kill them at all. You need to do. I almost got a level up from that also as well. Life max up. We can of course get another clock here. We get another Onyx here, I think. This is where we get the talking interest I talked about, and we get the Onyx and we get the Frankfurter, and we can pass with Mist. We get some more cash, and we get the soul of the bat. However, right, like, the thing is I'm not gonna be doing this too much and stuff that, because, you know, we're gonna use it to get through this tough room here and stuff that, you know, but, you know, I'm not gonna, like, be using it too much for the movements and stuff that, right, because, you know, because if we could skip too many rooms, right, then it wouldn't be good. Please. Get way more hits than we should have had there. Now with that, with the solar bat, that's when I felt like, oh, now you're meant to go and fight Karashman with that, and stuff that, Do we have time for it? Maybe we do have. But yeah, because I think that you're actually meant to go into the caverns very, very late. That you're basically meant to go and kill all the other bosses, including like all rocks, before you even go into the caverns for the first time. And this is where you're meant to get the fire card, I feel like, But then I felt you're meant to kind of go back to the shop as well here after you did that, and you were like, oh yeah, we got the solar bat now and stuff that,
Young Master Alucard.
How about this?
But then you have another Onyx to sell.
How about this?
Because I didn't know those things are interesting, the velvet or the leather hat. Outside of course, there's, for example, circlet is +1 intelligence, 8+ from the silver crown. And yes, both of them mix or reduce that. Unpleasant cost would be huge here. But yeah. Element cloak is a big deal though, because this is 4 extra constitution from the Joseph cloak already. You know what, I will allow 2 medals at this point. Because we just killed a demon, so like, oh, here is your reward for killing the demon, Mr. Alucard. And we have 2 medals, so we have 2 extra defense and 2 extra attack. Because yeah, imagine right if we would have, during all the grinding of the old nights, imagine if we would have even gotten 1 medal and stuff that, right? Because it's just that you can hit very important break points with anything that increases attack. For example, like you can hit some very, very important points to just make it so that, oh, these enemies, right, that, but they can pipe craze, which I always thought was very, very weird. Like, why is their armor so bad, and stuff that, Like, you wonder why are we killing these again, because, you know what, though? Huh? What happened to the other book? I think there should be 2 books left alive, yeah, and there's 1 down there, but it's... Oh yeah, both books are alive, so... I'm guessing that other book there, because the other book went down here, basically, with the other book. That was very weird behavior, I feel like, Because, if you run through this place enough times and you just go back here often, then you're eventually gonna see the 1,000 coin bag, So you're just gonna eventually just get lucky, And next upgrade is, yes, that I'm gonna allow ourselves to get the Ring of Hills is next, basically. And I would like to otherwise wait until Castle 2 with getting the whole gauntlet and stuff that, But yeah, there is also a certain drop from a certain enemy later on. But if you have high enough luck, you can just get that drop very fairly easily and stuff that from a certain enemy, I feel like, you know. Right, and now we can do this double jump here. Get this course. Get it on with the double jump. Now how much damage do we deal to this guy? So 974. Yeah, we're gonna allow us to stop open here, so we're 974 as I said. So I wanna see if 969, okay, so they're hardly worth it at this point, which is a bit sad, you know. I'm not gonna do the trick there, I'm gonna go and get it the legit way instead. Miracle Race and the Evil Knuckle. It's crazy. Yeah, the Evil Knuckle is very strong. Of course, Miracle Race is bad. Miracle Race actually matches the Bronze Race. So yeah. But it has the very cool design of the whole how it's kind of like, it's even buffer than the, like, plating wise, or how much it covers. It actually covers even more than the silver plate does. Stuff that. But I can understand why they didn't make the Miracle Race more powerful, but it would have made sense in my opinion for them to have made it more powerful, but yeah. But we're actually gonna go this way. Yeah, so that thing must be weak to curse or something like that, because it only takes 42 damage there. So I'm pretty certain that wasn't a crit. See here again here. Yeah, 42 damage without critting. So I'm guessing this stone things are weak to curse. Maybe. It is one bleeds, by the way. So you can get a bunch of bleeds from that. Now, if you want to sink the Master. I think it's actually good that in Requiem you can get the Master in the first cast and stuff that, you know. There are some like very powerful stuff you can get in the first cast, you know. So I thought about that, what's the most powerful you can get in the first cast and stuff that, right? You know, when I had a file like that once, like what I call like a Richter instead of Richter, you know, and stuff like that, but yeah. Actually, let's go open this now. So I don't think we went and opened it before here. Just open this path while we're here. We're not gonna upload any of these parts today, by the way, just so that you know. But we want to go down here because we can get attack potion here. Right, yeah, attack potion and the library card. Yeah, we could have grabbed that before the Colosseum because technically the attack potion is technically a little bit worse than the strength potion, I would say, in my opinion, because the strength potion, then of course you can hit very important strength breakpoints and that can just make something like that much stronger and stuff that, you know. Now, why do we want to go back to Colosseum? I don't know if I said that before, that we're going specifically to Colosseum. But that is because with the bat, we can actually go get a thing. I mean, I think we can. But we might have needed the axe, actually. Like, maybe we can do it without axe. I think we can actually do it by just casting Summon Spirit a few times, I think. Alright, then we can get this now as well. Actually, that makes it no problem if we can get this. I forgot if this is one of the walls where the fairy does talk about it or not. I'm actually gonna test that out to see if the fairy actually talks about it, because yeah. The fairy, though, I feel sometimes can be a noob trap. The fairy, because, you know... And yeah, the fairy can do like very, very smart stuff. Like if you get hit by a certain element and you're unsure what element a certain attack is, that she can give you the resistance. But generally, she doesn't give you it if you get hit by an attack once. If you, for example, get hit by Oldlock's Fire Breath attack like once, she won't do it. But if you get hit by multiple times, right, you know, or if the attack does a lot of damage to you, I believe it is. I forgot exactly how the AI works on the fairy. But if it's for example, like if you get hit by something, it does, for example, like 35 damage to you and you have 120 health or something like that, right? Then okay, then that's a big threat to my master or whatever, right? You know. And I believe, like the higher the level the fairy gets, that actually, I mean, it doesn't make it so that she like restores more health to you or something like that, you know. You know, it would have been cool if it was actually that she actually buffed like certain healing things, but yeah. Now we have gravity boots, of course, obviously, so yeah. I want to hear if she actually talks about it here. I don't think she does. Oh, you're not gonna speak? Okay. I'm gonna say something about the spot. The spot that's right here. No? Oh, I can open it this way, yeah. I can just enter it this way as well. So yeah, she doesn't talk about that, okay. Yeah. She doesn't talk about it. And here we get an demon card. Lowest demon. What does he say if you equip him immediately after getting him?
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Wait a minute, huh? You're my master? Not much of a looker, are ya? Well, we can't all be perfect. Off we go! Woo!
Off we go, woo! Yeah, because it's actually after a certain comedian or stand-up comedian or whatever, right? It's actually pretty funny. Stuff like that. But why is he specifically like the demon card, like, you know, and stuff like it's like, you know, it's... You know, it's actually really, really funny, but yeah, but that is definitely, I feel like, worth grabbing, you know. Because yes, there is a later demon card we can get, but the fact that you can get Nose Demon here, normally, right, it's Holy Sword at that very specific location. Normally it's Holy Sword at that location and stuff like that, but yeah, you know. So now, and the fact, of course, that not the End Sword, of course, End Demon is, of course, from the actual, from the Saturn version of the game, the End Demon, and stuff like that. Although I don't know if it has the same, like, voice lines or whatever, right, if it actually says that thing right, you know? Same thing. Oops. So let's reset. How much longer? Okay, I don't think we have time. Actually, let's do this. By the way, because we're here. Because this part is perfect to show this off camera. Because yeah, you can just keep on like attacking with the lighting, and yes, you can consume like hearts very, very quickly. But the more hearts you have, I feel like the better it gets. But we have the teleporter now. Alright. Come on. Resist fire. Mana prism, which is nice. Yoink. 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 Luck potion. Come on, man. Oh, this needs to fucking put in the game now. Bloody zombie. I have all the prisoners here, you know, and stuff that like. But why is it specifically all rocks that has like a prison and stuff that like, you know, and stuff that, you know? Because I'm pretty certain that this like that Dracula actually allows like all rocks to actually own like a prison like this, you know, and stuff that, you know. Right, and over here, of course, we want to get the sword card here. Yeah, so now we have quite a few of them and stuff like that, and I do think we have time to go and get the other thing here because we're not going to go and fight all rocks now. So that, like, we could. The question is though, can we deal with horses? Oops. He did fucking 23 damage to the horse. Horse! Okay, good, we can blast it. Yeah, the thing is that you can do actually pretty quick DPS with the... Yeah, that's thunder damage because it's yellow, right? But the thing that I like about it is that you throw it out basically like a projectile. So you can have like very, very long range on it and stuff like that. And you might say, oh, but that's the same thing with the knife. Yeah, but you know. And here we get the other fairy card. Stuff that, so now it's no longer accurate with the whole sword being there, you know, and stuff that, you know, so what's the story then? Like, why is there like the green fairy, you know, and stuff that, and that's the actual true fairy and stuff that, you know. And the funny thing, of course, in the original game, there's only the fairy and stuff that, like the blue one and stuff that, because that's the one from the original game and stuff that, yeah. Now we can open this sword up here. But then this kind of makes sense now. I think we probably won't have the time to get everything here, but maybe we will. If I can do the input quick enough. Good. Right, and I think we already got these. Yeah, we already got these. We just go and pick up everything, and you saw the thing that we didn't pick up before, that it was the Ankh, the life restoring Ankh, which is absolutely like, the problem is there's way too few items that it affects. That the only thing it does really have a good effect on is actual the potions and stuff that. And I believe that it doesn't work with the fairy either, that if the fairy